Hér Ellinarland. Hundgömul skoffín og uppgrónir nurlarar sem aldrei tímdu að sjá af hundsfylli eru kallaðir merkismenn og kosnir á þing. Í íslenskum þingsölum haldin sýning á mönnum sem eru búnir að gleyma að hugsa. Ég segi, hirði fjandinn allt gamalmennavitt og alla lífsreynslu. Það kann að vera gott fyrir annað líf. Það einskis virði fyrir þetta líf. Líf vort, líf vaxtarins og íturleikans.
Over the next few years, with the Great Depression eroding the confidence of nations and the menacing growth of fascism on the continent, Halldór Laxness began to write in rapid succession the epic novels that would make his name as a writer who could invest the most intensely localized and unprepossessing situations with a profoundly universal significance. The first was Independent People, published in the mid-30s in 2 volumes, a giant novel of a penurious but proud Icelandic crofter, Bjartur of Summerhouses, buffeted by the harshness of the elements no less than by the feudal capitalism of the rural gentry, who remains stubbornly heroic to the last against all the odds. This was the sort of hovel in which he brought up his struggling family, a stone and turf shack called Winter Houses, which he renamed with defiant pride Summer Houses. All the physical squalor of the tumble-down croft is here in the book. All the unyielding harshness of the land, all the greed and hypocrisy and cant of those in power and authority. But through it all shines Bjartur's unending obstinacy in his striving to retain his independence. But in the end, lured into a fatal bank loan, he loses everything and has to move even further up into the highlands to an even less inviting croft. But he has now found again his beloved long-lost daughter, Ásta Sólilja, whom he'd driven from home in a rage when he discovered that she was pregnant, but was now near dying of tuberculosis. So off they set, this battered little family, she clinging to her father's broad back, to climb the last mountain together. And that is the final image with which we are left in this novel. They resembled nothing so much as fugitives in a land devastated by year after year of furious warfare, hunted outlaws, but in whose land? Not in their own, at least. In foreign literature, there's a homily that tells of a man who was fulfilled by sowing his enemy's field one night. The story of Bjartur of Summerhouses is a story of a man who sowed his enemy's field all his life, day and night. Such is the story of the most independent man in the country.